We're off to find some raw material. Where can we find it, I wonder? Hey guys, welcome back to Master of None. Today for you we've got a sword forge we've been working on, that's right. The knife video is by far the most popular video we've done so far, so that got us thinking and we thought, well, we made a knife, so what's next? We've got to make the sword, right? So we've been busy, we put this thing together out of literally scrap. And today we're hoping to fire it up and make a real sword, okay? But first we've got to go and find some metal to make the sword.
We're off to find some raw material.
We're off to find some raw material. Where can we find it, I wonder? I was walking along this industrial area a few months ago and just kind of saw something in the grass that looked like steel, and I thought, how can I use that? And obviously someone's just dumped it after a construction project, so it's just rusting away. Nobody's claimed it, and so I guess we're gonna claim it for ourselves today. It's not too far, it's only a 10-minute drive, so should be interesting. What do you see here, mate?
See rusted junk.
I'm seeing sabers. I'm seeing rapiers. I'm seeing broadswords. There's the shovel. Yeah, this one's short. It's enough to get us started.
Alright.
But don't tell anyone about this stash. Securing our steel firmly. Yeah, we're all about safety. Cut up a 9-inch. Cut a bit off for our sword. There's no replacement for displacement. Now, not many people know this, but rebar's actually got carbon in it. It's actually carbon steel because it's essentially structural steel. So this reinforcement bar, all the ribs on it, is so they build a frame for a bridge or a building or something like that, and then they pour concrete all around their steel frame and their little ribs. So the concrete sort of grabs it better. Like poor man's carbon steel. That's what rebar is.
So I guess today's exercise is to pretty much demonstrate that you can make something out of junk, right?
Yeah, so we found this literally on just rusting away. You saw it. So let's just see what we can make out of this. And let's see if it works. Let's see if the forge works. We don't know. Alright, so how do we make the forge? Yeah, very simple. So over here we have a bouncy castle fan that I bought for $20. It's a high volume, sort of high pressure fan. Then we've got some 3-inch exhaust tubing I got from exhaust shop. Can't remember how much I paid for it. So what I've done was I made like a little valve, butterfly valve inside of there, and so this regulates the airflow, essentially how much heat you're putting into your forge. Then I welded up plenum, basically just a box. The frame's just some scrap rebar, and the only piece that actually cost a bit of money was this laser cut bit of 25mm plate on top, which is where coal's going to go, and we're going to align the outside of it with bricks to keep the heat in and keep the coal in. Try and get the tip. Alright guys, after a day of hammering on this rebar, this is the first sword we attempted to make. Yeah, I'd call that a success somewhat. Needs grinding now, needs a handle, a guard, and should take shape. What we did initially was we squashed the rebar, and then we sort of straightened it out, and then we tried to quench it in oil. And what we found was, now quenching it in oil, the blade didn't twist when you quenched it, but when we took a file to it, the file would just dig into it. So
it wasn't hardened.
It wasn't hardened enough. The oil cooled the metal down
way too slow.
And because rebar is quite a low carbon steel, you just wouldn't. The grain that we wanted just would not happen. So then we fired the forge again, and this time we used water to quench it. But the challenge with that was you have to have the sword heated up very equally, because we had patches. There was like hot here and hot there, and no matter how hard we tried to jiggle the coals around, you always get a cold and a hot patch. So, and what was happening then was the sword was bending as you cooled it in water. The sword was bananaing essentially.
So we have to modify the fantastic forge you made, which is amazing. No, it's brilliant, but it just needed more vent holes on the bottom.
So basically what we learned from this sword is that we have to drill more holes for the airflow, because it felt like it wasn't getting enough airflow. And also we learned that rebar does not harden in oil, but we harden the rebar in water. And have a listen. Now this file doesn't touch it. The what doesn't even put a scratch on it. So water hardening on low carbon steel works. You can get a hard surface with that technique. So next episode, folks, we will grind this nice, and we were talking about it. It kind of has a katana sort of feel about it, like it's got a bit of a curve. Unintentionally, of course. We don't know what we're doing. This is the first thing we ever made, first sword. So we're thinking about doing like a katana, or maybe like I'm not sure. We could still do like a pirate sort of saber or something like that.
How about we ask the people what they think it should turn into?
Put in the comments what kind of sword you want to see, and we will try our best to do that for you. But this is after a day of work. And I don't know about you, but I have so much respect for the swordsmiths.
Oh yeah.
There's just so many things about sword making that we still don't understand.
We're just dabbling
in it. But already, I just have so much respect for the traditional sword makers.
Oh yeah.
Just all the respect to you guys, and thanks for watching. Tune in next week, okay? Bye.